Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here, and today I'm going to pick up where I left off in my last video, and I'm going to show you what I did on Monday and what I'm going to do today, Tuesday. Okay guys, I'm out in the greenhouse. It is Monday morning, and I want to show you guys what I got finished yesterday on Sunday. I planted, let me say that again. I transplanted several more tomato plants along with marigolds. And what you see hanging down here is just a hanging pot of English ivy and yellow pansies. They'll be going back outside. But anyway, I planted more tomato plants, as I said, marigolds, purple and bouquet basil. A lot of people believe that it makes your tomatoes sweeter. And I've also placed some zinnias in here, about 4 of them right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, to attract pollinators, because all of the covering, and that's black cloth that you see there is shade cloth, and it's 50%. And what you're looking at over there on the outside of the greenhouse is that yellow tan color. It is 90% shade cloth. And if you're new to my channel, the reason why I did that is because I just brought my plants, my seedlings out from the out into the green. So let me say that again. And the reason for the shade cloth is because this way I don't have to acclimate or harden off my plants. I just brought them directly from inside my home. I brought the seedlings out here, and then I covered them so that they would not get too much sun. But now actually I can take the shade cloth off of this side here, and these have acclimated very well. And I have some more plants over there, some more seedlings. Everything that I'm showing you, I grew from seedlings inside the house. So this cover, by the way, it comes in 5 pieces. I got it from Amazon.com, and eventually the sides will come off first, and then to let more airflow in here, and then I'll take the top off. And if you look out here in my jungle out there, some of my trees didn't make it through the Arctic freeze. I took the panel, it's laying right there drying out, off of the front entrance, and it will stay off unless temperatures drop below 40 degrees. That way we can cut down on a lot of the condensation. See that dripping? And keep it drier in here, because the plants don't like a lot of humidity. They like some, and I can monitor that with my wireless thermometer that I have inside of the house. And I have sensors all around. Look right there in the ceiling. There's one there. There's one over there, up above that yellow sticky tape. And speaking of that, I'm going to take these down. This is from last spring and summer. I'm going to take those down and put up new ones today or tomorrow. So yeah, this bed is very long. As you can see, it goes all the way there, and here are the weeds and remnants of plants that was growing up under the 6mm greenhouse plastic to all the way there. Actually, this bed used to extend all the way to the edge of those wood chips. And that was before I decided to get a larger greenhouse. So my son and son-in-law built the frame, or I should say put the frame together of this greenhouse around this garden bed. And you can look and see around here, I got a lot of more plants to put in the ground now, or into containers. So now I'm going to leave out of here, because I have like I said, I divided this up into 5 pieces, 5 sections, and I have 3/5 of it already transplanted. I'm also going to bring my leaf mulcher out, and I'm going to chip up very fine some leaves that I've been saving for this particular bed. Okay, so that's 3/5 done, and then I'm going to get this portion done today. 2 more fifths. Plenty of tomato plants that I can use in this area, but I'm going to take these, since they were in complete direct sun yesterday, and I'm getting ready to plant a garden bed that's on the outside of the greenhouse. Okay, so I'm getting my little shovel, and I'll meet you outside. If you've been with me for a while, you know these 2 beds, this one way over there, and then the one right here, I grew all of my greens, beets, radish, turnips, that type of thing in here. And I had collards, mustard, Swiss chard, Japanese red mustard, rutabaga, and a lot of beets. Anyway, these 2 beds are surrounded with society garlic. Now, this is why you should never immediately pull up your plants after an unseasonably cold temperature like 3 degrees. We have, it's decades since they had temperatures like that. But this is my society garlic. When I came out here, I wanted to cry after the snow melted, because all of it looked like this. See that? But I just left it on, and I said I'm going to wait to see what it will do. And as you can see, all around my borders, that society garlic survived. I did not know if it would survive a temperature that cold. And so when I pulled up the greens, I left this Swiss chard because I knew it could take a low temperature. And by the way, that's rainbow Swiss chard. And the regular one, I don't remember the name, I can look at my journal, that doesn't have those bright veins going through it. Let me go closer so you can see it. You see that bright orange and red veined and burgundy looking vein? And I think this one is a yellow one. It is. I can see a little yellow. Well, that survived a 3-degree temperature. And I'm going to tell you why it survived. Because it had 10 or 8 inches of snow on it. And snow, here's a pearl from Cheryl, will insulate your plants. As well as if you water them very well, the water will insulate them too. Another thing I want to bring to your attention that I intentionally left, and I'm going to zoom in on it, a lot of the marigold seeds. See right there? Those are marigolds. These right here are marigolds. Right here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marigolds. I just put one here. Marigolds attract whiteflies, and also they bring pollinators to your garden. So some things I left in, and you can look right over here. I left a little collard green over there. That won't be there long, but I'm gonna let it grow a little bit. And I'm gonna pull out the peppermint that's creeping from this area over here into the bed. Seeds, you know, the birds, the wind scattered the seeds, and you know, then you get a lot of volunteer plants. So I see some weeds right here in this Swiss chard, and I'm going to get it out. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plant or transplant. Let me go back to my regular setting. I'm going to transplant these tomato plants in here, and I'll bring over some basil out of the greenhouse, and then I'll dig up and transplant the marigolds all around the border, and maybe a few in the center to bring my pollinators. So the longer you've been gardening, the longer you have stored up information, and you know things that you can do to save you money. And you know which seeds will overwinter well and which ones won't. And you also know what seedlings you can prick out of wood chips and soil and put them where you want to go. And in my yard, the two things that I can prick out very easily and transplant them to different sections, those two flowers are Mexican petunia that grows in a big bush. So I won't be putting none of that in these garden beds. But the other one is marigolds, any type of marigolds. These are French marigolds. I got the seeds originally from Baker Creek. I harvested a lot of seeds, and I also let some self-seed in the bed. Okay? So I'm not going to show you how I dig the holes and lay the, well, I'm going to show you one. I'm going to show you one so that if you're new to my channel, you'll see it. And then if you are new, go back and look in the video prior to this one. And then you'll see me how I transplant my tomatoes so that I get a larger yield. And if I can remember, I'm going to pop in a few pictures of my tomato harvest from the past. And that'll let you know why I do what I do. Another thing I want to show you is these are PVC pipes. Before I got the bigger greenhouse, I used to put plastic over it and grow in these beds in the wintertime. But I don't have to do that anymore. However, I keep these in place in case I need to use them for, let's say, insect covering or shade cloth, that type of thing. Okay? All right. I'll show you how I plant a tomato seedling horizontal so that you'll have a stronger and a larger root system. Okay, I'm ready. Now, the first thing I did was I dug out a hole about 2 times the width of this solo cup, okay? And you guys can go back and look at my seed starting playlist and see how I germinate and grow my seeds. As you can see here, the roots are hanging from the bottom, so they're overdue to be transplanted. So I'm going to gently remove them, and if you lose some roots, that's fine. You have all of these in here to work for you. I'm going to put it in the hole, and this time I'm going to go ahead and put a little soil on top. I don't know if you saw that. And I'm going to add just a sprinkle of garden lime. It won't hurt your plant roots if you put it directly on it. And in this little container here, I have my worm castings and my azomite rock dust that adds nutrients and organic fertilizer. And I'm going to just cover it up. If any straw gets in there, that's fine. It'll just break down. And then I'm going to gently bend my stem and then mound the soil around it. I hope you can see that, but you can always go back and watch it again. Now, one thing about tomato plants, they very easily catch soil-borne diseases. So if we have something in here, which I know we had spider mites, so I sprayed them very heavily with a solution of pure cold-pressed neem oil, a tablespoon of Blue Darn dish soap, and a gallon of water. And I think I put about 2 ounces in here because we had an infestation of spider mites and whiteflies all over North Texas last summer and fall. So when I put these babies to sleep, I added some more potting mix, homemade compost, and I covered this bed up with straw, and I covered that bed up over there with a little straw, but mostly leaf mulch. Okay? So when I water this, when I'm done with everything, that small amount of organic worm castings and azomite rock dust and the garden lime, which is also organic, it'll loosen that up and it'll spread. Okay, another thing I want you to notice is I don't plant my tomato plants close to the edge. because this is a walkway right here. Even though the peppermint is overgrown, I'm going to harvest it and clean that all up. But here's a bed right over here where I have trees in. So you see that walkway? You don't want your tomatoes. Here's another pearl from Cheryl. You don't want to plant them real close to the border of this wooden garden bed. You want to make sure that you take it out at least a foot to 2 feet. And this is about 18 inches. That's about a foot and a half. So I want my tomato plants to be staked up instead of them sprawling all out in the walkway. How do you know that, Miss Cheryl? Because I messed up many times before. So I just try to help people, guys. I know I come across sometimes a certain way. Either you like me or you don't, because I have a lot of confidence, and I taught beauty school, and I was a director, and taught Sunday school, and I'm confident about subject matters that I know about. Now, if you ask me anything about a pecan tree, I can't tell you about how to grow one. All I can tell you is I found some volunteer pecan trees, and I'm putting them in my yard, and I'm doing research. By the way, my research has taught me that I probably have to graft it onto a rootstock or graft other branches to it to get some edible pecans. But the point I'm trying to make is this. I'm not going to apologize for me being confident, because I think there's a difference between, I know there's a difference between being confident and arrogant, and I'm not arrogant. Okay? I just have confidence about what I know, and I'm sharing that with you. Okay? All right. Okay, so we're going to move on, and then I'm going to show you, I'm going to put up just a couple of marigolds right in here. Let me go to the greenhouse and get them, and I'll be right back. I was on my way to the greenhouse to get some marigolds, and then I thought, duh, you let some overwinter in the garden bed, so I don't have to go in there and get any. I put some right here, and here's a clump that I pulled up out of here, or lightly pricked out. See that? And I put a couple more here, and I'm going to put a few right here. That's too deep. I'll put these two right there. Just stick them in, and then cover them up, and make sure that you press down so you don't have any air pockets or root rot. And this is a nice thick one here that has the 2 leaves on it. And 2 leaves are the second set. So I'm looking where I'm gonna put this one, and I think I'll put it right here. Let's break this soil up a little bit. And we'll just put one right there. Okay. Now, the reason why I don't have to press down on the tomatoes is because they're a larger plant. And when I spray water on them, it will sink down some and also fill up any air pockets. But I told you guys that I don't like my leaves to be touching. So I'm just going to pinch these off that are close to the ground and make sure anything that's real close, I'm pressing down just to make sure. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, that goes into the compost. Actually, I can leave it right here. It'll just dry up and be compost. Okay, so I'm going to plant a few more plants, and then I'll come back and show you when I start putting some basil between these plants, okay? I'll be right back. My neighbor started a lawnmower, so I had to do a voice over here. And I was just noticing something. Those clumps of marigolds right there, I wasn't sure, but I suspected they were a whole leaf pod, seed pod. And yep, I'm showing you right now what I thought was true is true. When the camera focuses back on there we go. Those are all seeds. So I can keep them, and I'll put them right there in that cup, and I can plant those anywhere I want them to be. There's another whole seed pod with lots of seeds. So if you live in garden zone 8A or higher, you can just throw some of your seed pods in your garden beds or containers, and then put them where you want to in the spring. While I was digging the hole to transplant my last tomato seedling, I found a grub worm, a nasty grub worm. And I call them nasty because they will go down deep into your garden beds, into the soil, and start gnawing and eating on your roots. And then later, they morph into a June bug, I believe it is, or a beetle. But if you see these and you have chickens, they love them. I can't have chickens where I live, so I just get rid of these. I don't put them in the trash. I put them in the garbage disposal so that it won't mess with anybody else's crops. Okay? Grubs are not good for your garden. Get rid of them. They have a built-in defense mechanism. They'll try to wind up or close up like a ball, pretend they're dead, but it's alive. Okay, guys, I'm finished with this bed, and I'll start on this end and show you. I planted basil here, volunteer collard greens growing up there. Where that red cup is, I said I was finished. I'm finished outlining it. I'm going to put one basil plant there. Here's a brandywine tomato plant, a brandywine over here, a mortgage lifter over there, and then a celery right there. Now going back to this end, next to that brandywine is a mystery. It's either celebrity or a manna orange. The tag faded, as well as this one and that one. Let me share something with you. If you look right over there, let me see if I can zoom in into that pail over there. Those are two big clumps of Swiss chard that I removed from here so I can put that tomato plant in, because it's best to go ahead on and get your stakes and your cages or whatever you're going to use, bamboo, to prop your tomatoes up. It's best to get them in early. So I wanted to go ahead on and move those. Those plants are going to go up there in those grow boxes that are elevated. Good thing that I put those out last year on those horses, because with my back injury, I can now just stand up and garden over there. But anyway, so everything is in. I'm very pleased. In most of the areas, like I said, the society garlic is coming back. All I have to do now is water in. Now, there will be some cages put on some of these, and I want to share with you that these poles right here, those are part of the gazebo that got destroyed during the snowstorm we had. Even these little small ones, it's a heavy steel. I can't move them. So I'm going to put a cage on here, but I'll still have this to prop up. And I'll do a video and show you how I'm going to repurpose these stakes to help me keep my tomatoes standing up. I'm also going to show you a lot of other things that I do with my tomatoes, okay? All right, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. You guys know what to do. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. And yeah, I got to end it because I need to get presentable, because I'm getting ready. Oh, I forgot to tell you that I didn't put any marigolds in this garden bed. I only used the seeds or the seedlings that popped up like this that I left in here intentionally. See here, I moved these. It's getting a little dried out. I got to hurry up and get the water on it, but I didn't want to bore you with details like that. But as I was saying, I'm attend a free online seminars about greens and how nutritious they are for you. I'm sure you all know that, but I try to keep continuing to learn different things so that I can bring even more content and information to you. Always study. Nobody knows everything, because really think about it. When you have learned everything there is to learn in life, you might as well just lay down and die. because your life wouldn't have no purpose, because you can't even learn anything. You can't even share anything new with people. So I'm gonna always strive to get better and better. I don't compete with any content creators on YouTube. The only person I compete with is myself. I try to learn more and more so that I can become a better gardener and pass that information along to you. Thank you guys so much. Bye now.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye now.